What's up guys, I'm Lureth, but most of you probably know this by now. As for those who are new, it's nice to have you here. If you want to see the model, you can skip to there. But I would really appreciate it if you stick by and listen to me talk. Today I want to talk about how I got where I am, all the people I met on the way, and thank people who stayed till now. You can treat this as like a letter to community or gratitude letter in a way. I started streaming on the 25th of February, so that will be a little over 4 years now. I remember I started streaming not that long ago after Whole-Life Ian debut. In fact, the first VTubers I saw in English were Whole-Life Ian, I think. In the past, I remember watching Kizuna IE, and I thought it was cool, but I didn't think I could do something similar, as it seemed very complicated. When Whole-Life Ian released and I found them, I did some research, and I was like, wait, so they are just streaming and using model, with auto by camera? I can do that too, you know? Funnily enough, I always wanted to stream and stuff, but one of the things that was always stopping me was the fear of being recognized. Can you believe that? Like, imagine wanting to be famous, imagine wanting to grow, but you just don't want people to actually recognize you. So yeah, I didn't really like the idea of streaming with the webcam. So when I realized I can use the model with just the webcam, I really liked that idea and I tried to do it as soon as I could. I remember that my first experience streaming was in Polish on a platform called Hitbox TV, I think. It was like ages ago. It's no longer a thing. I think they closed it down like some time ago. I remember streaming and just playing games with friends. It was fun and it was fun seeing people stop by. The first ever quotation mark content I made was a voiceless Minecraft Skyblock Island show-off. I was proud of this one back then. That was about 10 years ago or so, maybe even more. I don't even have access to those videos anymore. But anyways, going back to the main topic. After learning about Whole-Life and how they do things, I just decided to go for it. Like, why not? I spent most of the funds I had back then after leaving the job. I bought myself a new mic. I think the mic I bought back then was Blue Yeti, as I wanted to be professional, you know. I was able to do that as I didn't really have any spendings back then, but then I was like, what's next? I had to figure out how to get the model, so I did more research and I found out about Live 2D rigging and then how expensive it is. Then I found out about the free option called Vtuber, which I'm using now. You know, also, if you see me glancing to the screen, actually, I probably should fix that. Yeah, if you see me glancing, that was to OBS. So yeah, after finding about Vtuber, I made my ever first model in there and decided to go for the vampire design, as it was easiest to make. I made all accounts and reserved the name for them. Funnily enough, the way I came up with the name of Lureth was by going back from work on my bike at 5 AM in the night shift, and I was trying to like combine a random sounding phrases into a name. This sounded nice, so I went for it. On the Twitter account, I made a post where I decided to make a challenge. The challenge was to make a model in 7 days. I made a model, I did it in 7 days. Each day I made a little bit of the progress and I was working on other streaming related stuff. After 7 days, I started streaming. I remember on my first ever stream, I had a few people stop by, but it wasn't anything big. One of the people back then who gave me lots of support was named Suka-san. He was one of the first people I met first in the VTubing community. Funnily enough, if you ever heard my first streams, I sounded like I was being held to the gunpoint, like somebody was literally forcing me to stream. That's how it sounded like. I sounded so bad. When I first started out streaming, I hadn't told anyone about it, so I was starting completely fresh. Nobody was there for me, so I kept talking and talking and talking, and sooner or later people stopped by. Although it took me 3 months to reach an average of 3 viewers, I do treasure all people I met on the way. In my first months of streaming, I met what I would consider my first friend group that I had in the VTubing community. Although we don't speak often anymore, I do treasure them all. The people I met back then, they were Pion, Onagi, Britan, and Rico. They had their own little small group called ERRU. It was fun watching them and I had fun being there with them. I think the first person I met back then was Pion, and through Pion I met the others. During that time I also met a lot of amazing viewers who still stick to me to this day. The people I met back then were Dodo, Dr. Torian, Slender Brian, DJ Pon, and Pordio. Pordio Greyrat. I always called them Pordio. It was always fun seeing them stop by. After that I met some more people. I met Tabit, Melvin. I honestly don't even remember how I met Tabit, but I know I met Melvin and my other friend Deka through Tabit. Tabit was like the first Polish VTuber I met besides myself. One of my other friends that I met during that time, Deka, started streaming close to around that time. Although he started streaming after me, he grew so fast and he put so much work into it. I'm really happy and proud to see where he is right now. Thanks to Deka, I got to meet another friend of mine, Nesto. She's amazing and it's always so much fun to hang out with her. I remember meeting Leicester around the same time I remember that she rated me, I gave her a shout out and really loved her design. So I stopped by, we started talking and became friends. Lace is such an amazing person, it's always so much fun to hang out with her. I remember that around that time Nesta started growing quite quickly on Twitch and TikTok, and through her streams I got to meet a lot of people who I consider my friends. I got to meet AJ, In-Game, Raven, Maverick, and I'm sure there has been many more, but if I had to mention everyone I know, this video would take way too long. So I'm sorry if I didn't mention you. But with that said, let me stop mentioning people, as this would take even longer. I just want you all to know that I'm grateful for every single one of you who stopped by and stayed. No matter if you're a viewer or friend or even both, I do appreciate having you around. I have been streaming for 4 years, soon to be 5, and through all of this time, I met so many amazing people, and I learned so much. I have no idea if I will ever get big as content creator, but I know all of this was worth it. I never had a big burst of popularity, and honestly, I probably never will, but due to that, I had time to learn, and if we do end up growing, I believe I can provide people with a fun time and make them proud of being part of this community. Honestly, when I started streaming, I had no real reason for it. I just did it because I could do so, but after doing it so long, I learned I like creating stuff. Like, I like actually making stuff. I like making people happy and helping people have a better day. You know, I'm just a random guy playing games online, but if I can make someone's day better by doing so, then sign me the fuck up. With that said, let's actually proceed to what most of you have been waiting for. Let me show you my new model. 3, 2, 1. There we go. Wow. 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 Okay, so this model is based off a common avatar on both store. The main design motif is a snake space. As you can see, there's a very nice snake here. There's a snake in the ear. I really like snakes. I love snakes, especially the cute corn snakes. Have you even seen like a albino corn snake? That was one of the inspirations for this little one. I really love how cute it is. And we have like a second one, which is on the head. They both move with me as well. This little guy, he's so cute. The second thing I like a lot is space. It was kind of hard to add it to the model. I added like a moon-shaped necklace, but overall adding like space elements was quite hard to the model because of the limited assets. I have replaced the base eyes with like a dragon snake ones to go for the aesthetic. The eye change color when expression triggers. I really love it. Those are the base ones, for example. And if I open my mouth for like a surprise expression, they go like this. I really like this. As for the other expressions, I have the smiley one, as well as a few other ones. I have kept the eye color and the hair color of the model the same as the previous one. I tried to keep the similar choice of the outfit, but honestly selection wasn't the best, at least not for my likes. If you have any suggestions what I can add to the snakes, you know, let me know. Like for example, Raven wanted me to add like a very small party hat on top of it, and I was like, oh my god, that's such a cute idea. Also, when it comes to the model, I have a very nice tail. Yes, I have a tail. Let me show it. Fuck. Wait, let me show it. With that said though, I think that's pretty much it. I have nothing else to show. I am really happy with how the model turned out, and I am really looking forward to actually using it in my streams and videos. If you want, you can let me know what you think. I personally like it a lot. You can also click on one of the videos on the screen. If you don't think you're gonna like it, you might give it a watch. Anyways, that's it. Bye bye.